On Friday, May 17th, 2024, CNN released a video showing Diddy beating Cassie in a hotel in 2016. She described the incident in her lawsuit. She described this whole incident in her lawsuit, and it was proven with the video footage. In the video, you can see Cassie leaving the hotel room and going to the elevator. And she didn't have any shoes on, and she was walking and tiptoeing quietly to the elevator. And when she got to the elevator, she started to put her shoes on, and Diddy came around the corner running with a white towel on his waist, and he started hitting her in the head. He pushed her on the floor of the hotel. He kicked her a couple of times. He kicked her in the back of the head, and then he dragged her off to the hotel and back to the hotel room. It was very sad to see. No woman deserves to be treated like that. No human being deserves to be treated like that. I'm against all violence. I think women shouldn't hit women. I think men shouldn't hit men. I think men shouldn't hit women. And I think people shouldn't hit children. I think we need to be against all forms of domestic violence. You know, we just can't pick and choose which to support and which not to support. If men hitting women is wrong, then women hitting men is wrong. You know, everybody should keep their hands to themselves. But back to the subject, it was very sad. Diddy did the right thing by settling with Cassie. I think if this video had came out and he still hadn't paid her, it would have been much worse. But a lot of people feel like, okay, she got the $30 million. You know, she was paid, so this situation is kind of rectified, because you have to understand, Cassie chose not to call the police. There were several times when Cassie could have called the police on Puff. There are several times when she was on the red carpet that she could have said, Puff been beating my ass. And, you know, he would have been locked up. You know, he's a black man in America. They would have locked his ass up, you know, but she chose to stay. And I think one of the reasons she chose to stay is because P. Diddy gave her such a good lifestyle. And she decided to take a few beatings to achieve the lifestyle that she had become accustomed to. You know, some women would say, oh, yeah, he beating me, but at least I get the private chef. At least I don't have to work. At least I don't have to do nothing. He paying my bills. I live a soft life, you know. I don't have to do shit like you other hoes. You know what I mean? So she probably had that mentality back then. But the video was hard to watch. And today Diddy came out and he issued an apology, rightfully so. He said he was in a bad way and he is seeking therapy. And he sought therapy back then, and he takes accountability for his actions. It's a good thing that he apologized to the public, but I think that apology video is going to be used against him in a court of law, because best believe the feds are going to charge him with Cassie. If he don't get charged with nothing else, he's going to get charged with the Mann Act for taking Cassie across state lines, because he took her from Miami to LA and he whooped on her and he had sex with her in the freak-offs. So that's going to be sex trafficking. I already know the charges that they coming with. Just taking her across state lines. That's what they're going to get him with. And because I believe that the feds leaked this video of the security footage from 2016, they did so. They leaked the video in order to taint the jury pool. Because what they're doing right now is turning the public against Diddy. And they're saying, you know, he's a bad guy, lock him up, lock him up, lock him up. And they're going to use all kind of dirty tactics to get him. Same thing that they did with R. Kelly. You know, they used Surviving R. Kelly and they tainted the jury pool with Surviving R. Kelly. Then they went and they locked him up on these bogus charges. But with Puff, he came out and he apologized. You know, and when you come out and you apologize, your apology will be used against you. So when he goes to court, they're going to convict him on Cassie. So he's going to do some time on Cassie. I don't know what the charges are going to be, but possibly violations of the Mann Act. And it's sad. It's sad that it ended up this way. It's sad that he had to take this downfall. I hate to see any black man fall because I still haven't seen Charlie Sheen get dragged through the mud for giving 18-year-old girls HIV. He got to pay off 18-year-old girls for giving them HIV, 150,000. Multiple young ladies. Lives are fucked up forever because of Charlie Sheen. And there is no racketeering. There is no violation of the Mann Act. All the prostitutes that Charlie Sheen beat up, the prostitute that he stabbed, all of these women, they get no justice. So when I see the media going so hard at P. Diddy and not going hard at a white man who has done worse, it's hard for me to take these people seriously. Because before R. Kelly got charged, I was screaming, what about Charlie Sheen? Nobody has done more to hurt women than Charlie Sheen. Brandish putting a knife at his wife's throat, trying to stab his wife, trying to shoot his wife. He shot Kelly Preston. Charlie Sheen shot his ex-fiancée, Kelly Preston. Kelly Preston was married to John Travolta. She has passed on now, but they were engaged back in the 90s. And he shot her, and then she broke up with him. And she left and she married John Travolta. She always covered up for him, but everybody who was there said, yes, Charlie Sheen pulled out a gun and shot at her. And it grazed her leg or something like that. But nobody has done more to harm women than Charlie Sheen. So I don't want to hear nothing about Puff and repeatedly going at Puff. Yes, he's wrong. But if you're going to get Puff, you got to get everybody else. I don't like selective outrage. I don't like how it's only the black man being targeted for their sins. Target everybody equally, and I won't have shit to say. I won't have shit to say. Until Charlie Sheen is made to be held accountable for all the shit he has done, I can't get behind the crucifixion of African American men, even if I believe they're guilty. Because I'm looking at Charlie Sheen getting away with shit for 30-something years. Shooting at women, trying to stab his wife, giving young girls HIV, and not one charge. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But this is a teachable moment. Black men, you have to be well behaved. You cannot go around acting a fucking fool. And Diddy probably thought he was invincible. Diddy probably thought, that footage wouldn't get out. Because what he used to do, he used to pay people for the footage every time he went to a hotel, okay? And a lot of celebrities do this, not just Diddy. They rent out multiple floors of the hotel so that they could protect their privacy, right? Because they don't want anybody else in any other room watching them come and go and watching them do drugs or whatever they're doing. So Diddy probably rented out multiple floors. That's why you saw nobody coming to rescue Cassie, because there was nobody else on that floor in the hotel. It was just her and Puff. And he paid for the footage, but whoever had the footage kept a copy, and they probably gave it to the feds. And that's what we have here now, is this footage being released and exposing an incident from 2016, which was horrific. It was wrong. No woman deserves to be treated like that. I wouldn't want to be treated like that. But we also have to consider that Cassie's mom knew that she was being beaten and told her, go back to Puff. Go back to Puff. What you gonna do? Puff got the money. Puff taking care of you. Puff paid my bills. You got to go the fuck back to Puff. So you got to also blame the mamas. How can you see your daughter getting beat and tell her to go back just because you wanna sit up there and continue to reap the benefits of being the mother of P. Diddy's girlfriend? The shit is sad. Cassie should have left after the first hit. But her love of money got her into this situation. And her love of money is still what's carrying her through life, because she got $30 million out of this situation. But I guess it was worth it. I guess in her eyes, she got beat for 13 years. And as long as she gets paid, that's all that matters. But in my opinion, you should have been said something, sweetie. You shouldn't have stayed for all that shit. I'm not letting no man whoop my ass for no 13 years. I'm sorry. And you didn't have no kids with him, so it was nothing keeping you there. Cassie had no children with Puff. It was nothing keeping her in that relationship. If she had went to the police, or her mama had went to the police, or her daddy had went to the police, this would have been over immediately. This would have been over immediately. It would have been immediately over. She wouldn't have had to sit there for 13 years. And then now you had Cola Booth, who is a woman is an African woman. She's an African woman. She's not African American. She's from Africa, but she used to be Osama bin Laden's girlfriend. And she is online saying that she talked to Kim Porter, and Kim Porter told her that Diddy made her lick Cassie's dirty tampons, and Cassie was mocking Kim Porter, and Cassie always used to treat Kim Porter like shit and all of that. And I'm like, I don't know if I could believe the word of a woman that sucked bin Laden's dick, because I still want to know how you were having sex with bin Laden and you're not in jail. You should go to jail for even dating bin Laden, in my opinion. You know, I mean, it's just unbelievable. Osama bin Laden's mistress is on Twitter and Instagram. It's unbelievable what is being allowed in this country. And she got the nerve to talk about Puff and say, she was abused by bin Laden. Bitch, if you don't get the fuck on. Nobody told you to date a terrorist. And who's to know that she didn't have nothing to do with 9/11? Why is she allowed to be a United States citizen? How is it that she had sex with bin Laden and she's granted U.S. citizenship? Do you see the fuck shit that's going on in our country? Unbelievable. Unfucking believable, man. If Cassie did taunt Kim Porter, and if she was always like, nah, 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 I got your man, that type of energy, I mean, I really can't feel sorry for her, because, I mean, you kind of put yourself in this situation. That's what I'm saying. Cassie is not, she's a victim, but she's at the same time a volunteer. I feel sorry for her for getting beat, but I don't feel sorry for her because I know that she did everything she could to be in P. Diddy's bed. She wanted that man. She wanted that dick. She wanted that billionaire dick. She wanted that billionaire lifestyle. He didn't force her to do no freak offs. He didn't rape her. And if this goes to trial, he should be convicted on whatever domestic violence charge. He should be convicted of that because he's guilty of it. But he should be not guilty on any rape charge, and he should be not guilty on the freak offs because she was willingly there. Let's not act like he had to force her to do that shit. Because in my opinion, if you didn't like it, you would have been gone. If the beatings didn't let you leave, the freak off should have let you leave. Because I'd been like, hell no, I'm not sucking all these random dudes off. I don't know where their dicks been. I don't know how much diseases they got. I'm not sucking these dudes off. And that would have been my whole stance on the situation. We don't know what's going to happen. I think he might get arrested by June or July. You know, I think they're piling together all what they're going to charge him with. And they're going to hit him with a one-man RICO like R. Kelly. You know, a one-man criminal enterprise. And they're going to go back to the shooting in the nightclub. The nightclub shooting that he got acquitted on, where he was at with Jennifer Lopez. I think they're going to go back to that. And they're going to hold him accountable for that shooting. Even though he was acquitted on it. Because remember, they went back on R. Kelly and they charged him with the same woman that he got acquitted on in 2008. So the feds are famous for going back years later and charging people for shit they got acquitted on. They do it to the black man. They don't do it to the white man. They don't do it to the white man. They do it to the black. But P. Diddy apologized, and It was the right thing to apologize, but the wrong thing at the same time, like I said, because that apology will be used against him in a court of law. But I hope if he goes to jail, I hope he don't get no 20, 30 years, because I don't feel like I want to see somebody do that type of time. The man still has kids. He still has a family. I don't like to see nobody go down for that. But if he goes, hopefully it's only for a few years. But all of these people who didn't support R. Kelly, they're going to get their turn. And Jay-Z and Dr. Dre are up next. I think Dr. Dre going to get taken down next. Because people are online saying, well, what about Dr. Dre? Dr. Dre beat so many women. He beat his wife. He beat Michelle A. He shot at Michelle A. When is Dr. Dre going to be held accountable? How come Dr. Dre has a Lifetime Achievement Award named after him at the Grammys? The Dr. Dre Impact Award. And why is Dr. Dre allowed to have all of this status? And he is a known woman beater, So I see all of that going online. So I'm thinking that Dr. Dre might be the next to get taken down. Anyway, we'll keep up attention. We'll keep our eyes on everything that's going on. Cassie is a victim, and she's also a volunteer. She's a victim of domestic violence, and she volunteered to do all the sex acts, and she was a consenting adult with the free coughs. That is my opinion.